Long time no see. Been doing things and spending some time off of here, off of everything. When I can spend time away from my desk, spending time away from my desk and studying and writing and reading and cleaning and cooking and watching Netflix, things like that. And also like it keeps me from being annoyed at like how these freaking shadows and things. How did I get this to not like be? Just realize what that is. Let's see if I move it. It's my other oh, my other webcam, which I can't unplug because I don't know. I'm sick of technical stuff. Absolutely, positively, I needed a break, and I'm going to be taking more breaks from it. Like I said, I think I'm working towards analog life 100%. But anyway, what I've been coloring in, I think, if I remember correctly, I still have too many pencils on my desk, always. These are the things I've been coloring in. This Gnomes at Home, I started, I think, yesterday or Saturday. Luna, Leon's Journey, and I actually have been coloring a little bit in Nightfall too, although I can't remember what I did. I have a lot of whips in Nightfall, and I'm trying to remember what pencils I was using in it. And there was something. What was I doing in here? I don't know if I was finishing up a page or what. And for some reason, this book smells really good. I don't know what I sprayed around it or something, but it smells so good. Oh, this page. Yeah, I started working on this page. I had started doing like I think they're toad lilies. And so I started, doing the rest. It's like, well, maybe I can try and finish this one. I'm kind of almost there. Not quite. But yeah, I have a lot of whips in Luna that I need to work on. But again, I look at the pages and it's like, I need to remember the pencils I used. 2, I need a strategy for how to finish the pages. And thinking of that, I want to use things that I haven't before or whatever. And so I really need to finish this page. It's kind of like almost done, but this is when I think I was trying to use the pan pastels, and I wasn't quite enjoying the process. Which is probably why it's still here. But it's almost done. I like this page. I used acrylic. Looks like I used acrylic pens in here. Need to finish this one. It's bleeding over. Need to finish this one too. Yeah, so I have a lot of whips in here. This really isn't finished either. I know I was trying to use water on here. I think I used watercolor pencils, which, and I was almost enjoying the process, and then I wasn't. But this one went through a whole lot of changes. Tried to it's like, oh my god. And this one really isn't done either. The first one in the book. Yes, I have a lot to do in here. This is my first Maria Troll book, so I had to really. It's a lot of trying to figure out how to work in the book, how to work on the paper, etc. But anyway, so that's there. Hanging around, but that's what I worked on in there recently. In here, I felt like pulling out some new books because I really haven't been feeling the Kirby books too much, and I'm not ready to open a new Kirby book right now. Although I'm almost thinking of opening up Dark Fairy Tales because of the people in it. I don't know why I want to color people, but I've also been thinking of opening Alien World, which I had started on that first page and I was having a really good time with it. And then some challenge came along and I joined that challenge, and so I stopped coloring in Alien World. But I think I need something that isn't people, no animals, total fantasy. That's another thing. I'm not quite ready to go there yet. So I said, well, let me color something new, something I haven't colored in before. So I started in my Leon's Journey book. And forgive my fingernails, I need to do my nails today. Um, that's on the list. Hey, Regina. I hope you're doing well. So I started coloring in Leon's Journey. And and I decided to do the cover page. I says, well, this is how I can figure out like how to color in this book. Um, and I used the combination of pencils I have on my desk, basically, which is um, combination Derwent Chromaflows, Polychromos, and a little bit of Prismacolor and one yellow. Where's that pencil? It should stand out because it's so bright. One yellow Evazar London pencil that hasn't found its way home yet. I don't even know where the set of pencils is. I mean, I do know where it is. It's on the cart, but physically in my mind, I cannot picture it. But I need to get it in its home. But I'm finding out how those Evazar London pencils really work nice. I don't know. They work nice with other pencils because the Evazar Londons have a particular kind of waxiness to them that is good for mixing with other pencils. I don't know. That's what I found. But anyway, so this is the first page. I haven't colored anything else yet. I tried to color this like kind of like a black swallowtail. I love black swallowtail butterflies. Whenever I see one of those, it's like a special treat. Um, because I don't see them often. Yellow swallowtails, I like those too. Sometimes I see those. I see those more here than I see black swallowtails. I gotta find out what kind of flowers they like because I think I want to plant more of those. But anyway, so I use, and then also for the background, because I was like, I don't want to use pan pastels. I don't know how that's gonna mess up the. I just didn't want to go there. Although I do need to break out with the pan pastels because I know where my tools and stuff are now. I actually put my tools in. Which one of these now? Is it the orange one? My tools, I put them in this orange case that I actually got to put in spare pencils, but the pencils are too. Oops, not that one. These are blenders. Wrong one. I probably should label them. I thought I would remember by the color, but well, I guess that didn't work. They're in this one. I put them all in this one. All my pan pastel blending tools. I haven't used them yet, but at least I know where they are in preparation for really going to town with them someday. I can see where they'll be useful, but I just got to get used to them. But anyway, so I did the background with my highlighters, which like when I was reading my Bible the other day and I used some of these, I was like, these pastel colors just ain't getting it for me. The darker one did, but the other ones, it's like they don't show up. Like what's a highlighter if it doesn't highlight? So I thought, well, I'm using the lighter colors for coloring. And I know some people use these for coloring anyway. These happen to be by Color, which they're actually that's the brand. The first large pencil set I purchased was by these people. Was Color, and they don't actually. It seems like they're not available for sale anymore. The colored pencils, at least not in the US. The company's French, and I actually get free coloring pages from them from when I, signed up after I got my pencils. And they said, sign up for whatever. And I still get free coloring pages from them in my email. So yeah, so that's as far as I've gotten. I've been looking because I don't know, I kind of want to color them in succession. I don't want to skip over. And I almost feel like the way that the illustrator has the book laid out, it's almost like coloring a storybook in a way. And so I kind of want to stay consistent with how I color the animal characters. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not because I'm not going to hold myself to anything. If I don't feel like doing it, I'm not going to do it when it gets in the moment. But I do kind of want to be thoughtful about how I color them and kind of stay consistent. So I kind of made him kind of almost like an orange kind of tabby, which was what my I call it my first cat that I acquired myself was an orange. He was a medium short hair or medium long hair. I don't know. Orange tabby, little muscle cat. That was another nickname I had for him, muscle cat, because he was a tough little boy. um, but yeah. So I don't know. Getting him to this color was kind of challenging, but I like the color that it is. So I don't know. That's another thing. It's like, am I gonna commit to having to use all them colors to make him again? I'm gonna have to keep those pencils out because that was like a whole lot going on. So that also made me think about, do I want to color all the characters the same throughout? I don't know. We'll see. But so that's why I just kind of stopped. Even though I wanted to color more in here, it's like, well, I really want to be consistent with the characters, and so I didn't. And I thought getting one page done was a feat for me because, like, I mean, I was afraid of coloring. Like I have the romantic country or whatever book, and I've been afraid to color in that. But I think because this one has cats, and because it seems like some of the images are bigger, I didn't feel as intimidated by it. I don't know. Who knows? I may skip through the book a little bit because there are some really nice pages in here. That's a really cool page. And now, see, pages like this, I could see like using different mediums other than pencil, using pan pastels, using, I don't know, all kinds of things. Watercolor, acrylic markers, if I could like really get skilled with them and know what I'm doing with them. And I need to use them because I have so many different types. But yeah. And it can be a multimedia page too. So I don't have to restrict myself to one medium, but I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around how to do that. So let's see, the smaller things, I'm not so much into that, but I have to say now I'm more into that than I used to be. If I just wanted to take one and color it, and that would be the thing I color for the day or whatever, yeah, one and done, and then I've relaxed and everything. So, hey, Shar, happy Monday. And yeah, one day at a time, Regina. I hear you. It's kind of been. I don't know how the weather is down where you are, but I'm here. Like I keep watching Ryan Hall, y'all. It seems like he's been on a lot lately, and the Midwest has been like, whoa. So, and I watched tornado after tornado yesterday. It's like, what the heck? Every time I turned on and came back, there were more tornadoes and more pictures, of more scenes of like the storm chasers looking at tornadoes in real time. I'm like, good Lord. You said with multimedia, I chose a background art supply, easy to color or paint over. Oh, do you have a specific like type or name or whatever? Because yeah, that's how I keep thinking about backgrounds. Is like something the things that are easy to do that with is kind of like yeah the thing to pick. And well, I guess this is too small to probably test that out. But some pages might be good for testing that kind of thing out. But with these, it's so small, you could just do pencil for a whole freaking thing and not worry about it. But I think another reason I was attracted to this book now is because it seems so summery. And I'm not actually able to do full on gardening like I really would like to because like I was telling my husband, I says we're looking at this is like a good 3 summer seasons to get things back to where they were, you know, back when I was really gardening. So I says we're looking at a good 3 seasons because we need to have a plan. Right now we're looking at what's here, what's here now, what's coming up naturally on its own, and how do we want to work with that is the thing that we have to think about. And so and now that he wants to garden with me, which is really cool, so now it's like we gotta work together to do that and had the conversations about it and stuff. So which is pretty neat because like I can't do all I mean I when I first got here like 2 years in, I was lifting up big slabs of rock and all kinds of stuff, moving things. I was like a crazy woman, I guess. I this sister-in-law was like, what the heck? But I felt like the land was calling me and I had to do something. The land was here. I had to do something with it. You don't have this and not be a good steward of it. And I felt like it just was calling me. Plus the cats and dogs liked when I was outside too. But anyway, oh, I may do. Well, let me show the gnome page. I want to. I think I want to finish up this page while during this live because that's one reason I thought. You know what? I'll finish. I'll push through and finish this if I go live. So anyway, so this is the Gnomes at Home by Teresa Goodrich, and I got it through of course Dover Publishing. And this book, even though like it's more expensive, this what a lot of people said they didn't want to buy it because it was more expensive. It was like $16. I got a percentage off because I had a coupon, but by the time I bought all the books I bought, like I don't know how much that mattered. As far as saving money, I don't think I saved it because I bought more books. But the paper is different. I think it's slightly heavier than regular Dover books, which is really nice. And it has that like same thing on the background, like some of those books I got from what's that place called? It's called some books I got from Ollie's. It has that same kind of thing on the background, where there's colors, a picture on the background or whatever, like design, as well as it's on the back of every single page. So they're basically one-sided pages. You could color the side if you wanted to. And yeah, so and I have PDFs of some of these, but not all of them, of course. And I got the PDFs through the Dover Sampler. And I thought about just printing, making a copy of the page and color that, but I was like, well, I already do that with the PDFs I have, so I just thought just color in the book. So this looks really wonky to me, but I'm just going to push through and finish it. This mushroom has changed color I don't know how many times. It's got color on top of color on top of color. And that's how it's finally like this, which is kind of weird, but I'm like, whatever, just leave it. Just stop. you can't do no more. Just stop. I kind of like how the sneaker's turning out, though. I kept debating whether it should be darker, though, but I can't. At this point, I don't feel like I can make it darker and get the kind of denim-y look to the sneaker. Then I got to go over it with white, and yeah, I don't feel like doing that. But anyway, so that's the only thing I've colored in here so far. Then did I color anything in here? Oop, pencil's flying out. Oh, let's see. How do I have this in here? Noticing some of my pages bleed. I really want to color the tomato page in here. Is that what this is in? No. Oh, I was looking at the back of this the other day to try and see what flowers some of these were. And I'm still trying to, I don't know. I guess I hate having to count the pages to find out what page it is. So I got the picture for the animals, or the guide for, or index for the animals, as well as the plants. And so every time I got to count the pages, I got to do something so I don't have to count the pages. Even if I put in one, like, marker, one of these for like when it's page 12 and I can count up from there or something like that. I need to do something like that because it's driving me nuts a little bit. What did I color in here? What did I work on recently? I need to finish this page. Wait until I break out with the color premiums to finish this page. So when I do that, then I'll probably color both of these. Maybe, maybe not. Did I? I don't know. Maybe I haven't colored anything in here. Need to finish this one. Yeah, I guess I didn't color anything more in here since I was last on. This is starting to bleed over onto this side. I mean, I'm not too worried about it, but yeah. This is I was using the King Art gel sticks, but then what bled was the pencil. King Art gel sticks and then the US Art. Was it the US Art things? Or those quick sticks? But the quick sticks didn't bleed, really. Yeah, I get nervous about that kind of thing with coloring in, using different mediums in the books. Like if they bleed, and I really should put a paper between them. Which, speaking of which, let's do that right now. Oh no, I can't do that. This is my other plan for today, to bake pumpkin oatmeal cookies. That's what I want to do today. Because it's really cool. It's been really cool, so I kind of want to take advantage of it and bake. I thought I was going to make pumpkin bread, but I don't really want to eat pumpkin bread. I'm in this thing, like anything I couldn't eat with the braces on, that's what I want. You're going to make it crunchier, whatever it is, crunchier, and put more nuts and things in it. So I do need to give this a background and finish her hair. Now that this is bled through, I kind of have to. I wonder, I could try using the pan pastels, maybe. I feel like I'd have to mix the colors because I just have like I don't know what it's called. What does it say on here? Which ones it is? I don't know if you can see from there. These are the colors I have. Oh. Okay, so let's color in gnomes. That's what I want to do right now. Where's that? I love that tomato page. Because again, it reminds me of summer. Did I mark it? I thought I marked it. Maybe I didn't. Here it is. I love this tomato page. I I do need to mark it now. I'm going to mark it now. I don't know where my smaller. I don't want to use that. I want my smaller tab things. I need to find that. One thing that we did plant as far as vegetable or whatever in the garden, um, my husband planted the lima bean seedling that I spring sowed in a milk jug, and then I told him when he planted it in the raised bed to take off the top of the jug, that has the hole where the cap is, because you don't leave the cap on when you spring sow or winter sow things, and just like cut it in half and put that over the seedling just in case anything wants to come around and eat it. It won't. And then now he has, because it's getting bigger, he has like some fencing, some netting like chicken wire, around it, like about, I think he said, did he say how high? I can't remember how high he said he has it. So we'll see what happens. He's going to adjust it as we go along if he has to protect it. Because we have, the critters we have in our yard. We've got a groundhog that's under our shed. He saw the groundhog. And I saw that groundhog last year. That's what I was saying. I saw one. And I was like, it looks like a beaver, but it doesn't have a beaver tail. I'm like, what the heck? That's got to be like a groundhog? Because I've never really seen one before. Except maybe on TV. And I don't know. Half the time on TV, are they real? I don't know. What do I need to color in here? Pots, and I still got finding places as I so we have a groundhog. We've got 2 baby squirrels that run around chasing each other on the porch. They come and they sit on the lower railing, because there's the top rail, and then the slats or whatever in between. They come and sit on the lower railing and just kind of hang out. Sometimes they look like they're just sleeping. Sometimes they just sit on the porch, on the ground. They just sit on the porch, the floor of the porch. They sit there and they look like they're sleeping, or just. I'm like, they're just really making themselves at home. It's really cute to watch, but then I keep thinking, oh Lord, don't eat my plants. Yeah, there were 2 of them, and it's funny. Watch them chasing each other and everything. I'm just hoping don't cross that road. Go in the backyard. Although, go in the backyard, I don't know. Something might get them there, too. So, nature. Is this I don't think this is the color, but I'm going to make it the color. Actually, it got a little lighter than I wanted it to. I actually went over the edges of everything with a white Prismacolor, because there was something about, I don't know, something about it. I needed something to bring it together because it was looking very, I don't know. Like it wasn't, I don't know. It needed that to make it come together more or something. I don't know why, but. So the 2 squirrels, we've got chipmunks, we have robins all over the place, which is really wild. It's so interesting here, like since I've been here, how you see the turnover of certain types of birds. Like one year there'll be a lot of this, one year there'll be a lot of this, for a couple of years there'll be a lot of this. This year I'd never seen a robin here until like last year, and now there are tons of them, and I see them outside with their one time I saw them, like it was like the mama and papa, and then there were a whole bunch of kind of younger ones. You could tell because they almost looked like a robin, but they seemed a little bit smaller. but not real small. Like, it wasn't standing like out like they're babies. But I kept watching, and it's like the dad was out here, like kind of, keeping his eye on the perimeter. The mom was here, and the younger ones were all kind of behind her, and they were, I think I mentioned this before, they were following the row like how my husband mows the lawn. And so those seeds that are left or whatever, they probably were feeding on those or pecking to make worms come up or something like that. And so the dad was still watching the perimeter. The mom was like kind of keeping an eye on them and what they were doing. It was so cool to watch. And there were like about like 5 of them. It was a lot. And then now I guess my husband rescued a little, he said rescued, I don't know. There was one baby robin that was, that are nest, a nest that's in the front of our yard. What I saw was in the back of the yard, but in the front of our yard, there's a nest in one of the lilac bushes. And he saw them 3. It was like the baby one and the mom and pop were out at the side of the garage. And then he saw where the baby one had kind of got caught up in like the weeds there that were at the opposite side of the garage or whatever. And so he kind of got it out because it was going back and forth, like it didn't know where it was. And then the mom came out, and I was like, well, I don't know. You better make sure that mom's going to take it back after you touched it. I don't know how that works. I know some animals don't like that. Like they say with baby rabbits, once you touch that baby rabbit, if it has a human scent on it, the mother won't take it back. I don't know. I hear all these kind of things. I've been like trying to learn living in the country on the fast, like, and I'm still on a learning curve. Some things I know, some things I don't. Aww. Oh, she did come and get them? That's good. Aww. Yeah, this what the weather, like it's been like some wild stuff. It does make me wonder, like how does, you know, makes me think about how nature, handles some of this stuff. Um, that's why I kind of don't mind, and I really think like next time I have a cat, I think I am kind of convinced now to have it be indoor. Um, I get it now. Although it seems kind of weird to me, it's like, yeah, just leave it indoors unless we wind up with some crazy problem. Leave it indoors. Have it be an indoor cat, which means I'd have to have a room for the cat that it can like have all its cat kind of things, like it's climbing a tree and all this other kind of stuff in there. Because I don't want to. I want it to be able to exercise its natural tendencies. Hey, Amy, happy Monday. So let's see. What else do we have to do? I don't know what these are. I don't know what color to make half of these things. It seems like there's so much in her pages. I feel that way a lot that, like, I don't know what to. I don't know. So I got to figure that out. That's what this is about. Me coloring in this book. It's like, I'm going to figure it out. And look at her. I mean, there's a lot of colors in here. I don't feel overwhelmed looking at her cover. Why do I feel overwhelmed when I look at my page? I don't know. I don't know. What time is it? Okay. So no. Maybe Pearl comes on. Oh, wait. She comes on at 3? I don't know why I keep thinking 2. Why do I keep thinking. Oh, or is it because. I don't know. I don't know. It's 3. We're making that blue too. Blue on blue is kind of weird, but that blue. It keeps showing itself to me. Did I put this back in here? Oops. Ah. Yeah, and in the. Yeah, that's not too stable there. I need to check my cords underneath my desk, but I'm just not. Like I said, anything technical, I'm trying to stay away from it. I've had enough of that over the past 6 months. I'm going for time off. Do I want? I don't know. Here's that short one. Yeah. Where it is. Use this one. That's been really like the level of scamming going on these days, like with the internet and everything else, is just really, it's something else. I ran into it yesterday when what was it that I was reading about? I found out about this, whatever I was researching, I can't remember offhand, but I found a book on the Internet Archive. C.S. Lewis writes the foreword of it, and it's a book by a first century, well, before there were theologians, but, basically a theologian in the way we look at it now, but they didn't really quite exist then because it was the first century. Thanks, Amy. And so Irenaeus of Lyon, and so I was like, ooh, I want this book. Well, that book is not in print anymore, so I'm like, well, I was trying to see, like, okay, well, can I find somebody else who has it, because I wanted it in book form, and and I could read it from the Internet Archive, but I'm one of those people, I want the book in my hot little hand. I want to have it, so I have it as reference and all that. So I went looking, and I looked on Amazon. It's like, oh, they have one, and so I go and I order it, and it says it's by so and so PhD, because I wanted a scholarly edition of the thing, and so it says it's by so and so PhD. I was like, perfect. I order it, and then I go, kind of backwards, but I was trusting, Amazon. Like, okay, that and there is a statement in itself. I shouldn't, but we do, and I still do for some things, although not so much anymore. Um, the guy, the person, the author, there's no such person. Now, if somebody has a PhD, you can always find them, via Google. If somebody has a PhD, because they've published and they teach and all that other kind of stuff, right? So they have things that you can find out. This person doesn't exist. But I didn't know exactly that. But then what happened was I searched for the person, and as I did the Google search, one thing that came up was Reddit. And I go on Reddit, and there's like a whole thread about this person and this book, and talking about the issues of, you know, things showing up in basically people posing, or something, some entity posing as something they're not. And they said there were people in that thread who actually ordered the same book that I wanted, and that I had ordered. And they were saying that, oh, it's, basically like it's, like create space, paper, and all this other kind of stuff. No notes, no anything like that, footnotes or anything, like things that you would expect in a scholarly edition. It's just like, somebody made the book, like that, like an AI coloring book, basically. Um, Maybe worse than an AI coloring book. Um, and because of the expectations of a book that's written by a PhD. And so I immediately went back to Amazon and canceled the order. It's like, and I looked, and they were saying, like, yeah, the same person who has published this also has several other, like, kind of like primary theological treatises and documents and stuff, all published the same way. So basically, this, whoever this non-person entity, is putting all of this information in book form in a trashy way, with the not with the expectation of what a PhD would do, and the PhD probably doesn't actually exist. So they're being a poser. They're basically scamming. And the amount of money they're asking for the books is way beyond what the level of what the content expectation is for someone who has a PhD. And you can get these documents. You can look at them out for free online. It's just that, like I said, I wanted the book. Most people who like study really do want a book. And I was just so like, oh my gosh, can't find that in print anywhere. So I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things I had to keep looking for if I want it, or I just have to settle for not having it in print. I can look at the one on Internet Archive, and I also found another site that they have the whole thing there. And I actually saved it to my Adobe Cloud. And it's actually not that many pages with the way they have it formatted. And it's a place that it looks like I can trust them, because they are about, I guess that it's, I don't know, it's connected to a group that I guess is concerned about Catholic doctrine, I guess. So if I ever write about this stuff, I have something to put in there, like so people can examine their own, how they take it or think of it. But it does seem, it's interesting to me. What's the name of it? I gotta remember. I can't even remember the name of the thing. I went through such craziness trying to find it. But yeah, basically the guy what can I say, is it Arrhenius, talks about things that, like, we basically like kind of take for granted are a part of the Christian faith now, but back then, you know, it wasn't, and it had to be, somebody had to say it, but no, this. So I'm going back to the kind of doing what my mother says. You got to get to the root of the thing. Going back to the root of a lot of things, because particularly in American Christianity, for this is my concern in American Christianity. We've added so much stuff to the faith that are not really they're not that's not a thing. That's not no. We added that. That's not no. So it's like it was only like I don't know, maybe like I've only known for maybe 7 years now that the whole rapture thing came from some guy in the 1800s in the United States, and not it's not a thing. Now for me, I just never it was never a big deal to me because like I had friends who were like, you know, I guess all of them believed in the rapture, like we all did or whatever. But they would argue. Like I was around people who went to different churches, and mostly it was two different churches, and one was Assemblies of God, and the other was Calvary Chapels. They would went to one of the Calvary Chapels because there were a bunch of them where I lived, and they were kind of like opposing sides in a way. Like there shouldn't be opposing sides in Christianity, but we all know there are. And so some of all this whole argument of post millennial rapture versus pre-millennial rapture and all that stuff. Whenever my friends would get into a discussion about that and they asked me what I thought, I'm like, I don't care. I said, whichever way it is, as long as I'm with the Lord, that's the only thing I think about. I just want to do the right thing, no matter if it's before or after. And I figure, like, if 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 we don't get out before the tribulation, well, there's Christians all around the world right now who are going through hell on earth. Okay, family members murdered and in fear for their life, all that kind of stuff. So like, who are we to think that like, we're gonna escape? Why are we worried about that? Why are we worried about whether it's before or after tribulation? I don't know. I always found that strange. I just was like, whatever. I don't care. Like, whenever he calls for me, here I am. I don't care when it is. But then to find out that it's not really a thing, and it's like, oh my gosh, somebody from 1800s came up with this. So then they had me like, I don't know. I don't know. That might have been the beginning of my saying, well, what else is stuff that's been added that I don't know about? And it doesn't change the fundamental. It's like I would tell my friend, if I don't know anything else, I know this. Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. It comes down to that. Anything else, whatever. Just that. That I know. That I've seen. That I've experienced. That I know. So, and even that, you can't touch it or whatever, but that's what makes it faith, right? I can't explain it through reason. And I'd be the first person asking why, but that's something I can't explain through reason. And I'm not going to try to. And it always seems like it's always the guys always wanting to. When I was younger, like, with that group of friends, all the guys wanting to argue over all these things and stuff like that. And it's like, doesn't matter. Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. What else do you need to know? Live. I don't know. I just always felt like those kind of discussions, arguments, they just go in circles and they never really accomplish anything. They don't really strengthen your faith. They just have you digging your heels into the ground this is what I believe. Yeah, okay, that's nice. I don't know. I've never been one about the argument thing at all. if someone really wants to talk and explore together, now that's something, that's something I can do. And agreeing to disagree in places where we, don't agree, fine. But, like, just argue for what? For what? What does it accomplish? Nothing. Nothing. Am I making this brown? I guess I'm making it brown. I don't know what else to do with it. I don't know why I went out and like colored the mushrooms first, and then I did them these weird colors, and it's like, why did I do that? I don't know. I gotta try not to do that again. But I just kept thinking, even though they're supposed to be I don't know, that muscaria, whatever, I don't have to make them red and white, do I? I don't have to make them red at all. I always want to have the red in there. Probably should eat lunch. What time is it? I'm trying to eat more regularly now. Yeah, and eating better. Wow. This is my first time in a long time having Greek yogurt for breakfast. Greek yogurt, apples, and cinnamon. And it tasted so good. It tasted like dessert to me. That's crazy, but it did. What is that? What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's grass. It's grass. That's mushroom. Oh, with that horrible color I gave it, but I'm just going to keep going on it. I suppose I can make them orange. Where would I turn them orange? I don't know if I... Make this orange or red? I don't know. Oh, wait. That's the stem, not that. So what's behind it? What is this? I don't know. It's a mushroom now. Too late. It's going to have a thick stem. Or it has a kickstand. A mushroom with a kickstand. Need some help standing up. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna make these cookies. Because I don't like soft cookies. And pumpkin puree automatically is gonna make it soft. So I was doing some research on it. And I thought, well, if I make a refrigerator kind of cookie, like one, where you make the dough and then you gotta refrigerate it, will that make it soft? Then I was like, well, if I difference between using cold butter versus melted butter. Like I'm looking up all these kind of things, trying to figure it out. How am I going to do these cookies? And one thing that I read is that you have to, with pumpkin, you got to get rid of some of the water first because there's a lot of liquid in the puree. So I have to do that. So I'm going to strain it, and then I'm thinking, well, what can I make with what I strain off? Because I want to make something with what I strain off. So I could make some ramen, pumpkin ramen, which was something that was it was in the purple carrot box that I used to get. They had a recipe for that. So I could save the broth. I could refrigerate it too, or freeze it too, to put into soup or something at a later date. Mushroom with a kickstand. Hey, Ivy Pearl. Yep, here I am. Hey, Foot Soldier. Happy Monday to you too. Yeah, I figured it was a good time. It felt like a good time to do it. Got a new book. Well, it was a free book. I had a free book from thriftbooks.com, and so it was going to expire, my free book coupon or whatever. And so I ordered a book, and my goodness, the book is like new, and I got it for free. I'm so happy. So I was like, okay. I know I need to stop buying books, but I guess it's not time to stop quite yet. I've slowed down a lot though, but I'm thinking, God knows when. Because my thing is, like, I'm wondering, I'm always thinking things are going to go away. Because I think the older you get, you see so many things, like the way you do things and the way you have things go away, change. And so, even like the whole thing between cassette tape, albums, LPs, vinyl, to 8 track. And the 8 track, came and went really fast, to um, cassette tapes. And hard to find, cassette tape players. Oh, this is the leg. Oh, I get it now. This is the leg of the bench, and that is the mushroom. Okay, I see it now. Sorry, a little late, but okay. Got a little mushroom juice on the leg of the bench. Mushroom juice. Um, and I just was thinking this morning that the Lord knows the times, and to not that just examining how I get concerned about having certain things in certain ways, and like, oh well, what if this goes away and you can't have it this way anymore, so then you got to have it this, like that. The Lord knows whatever it is, just trust Him for how you get it, and listen and move in that way. And when you're supposed to have something, you'll have it, and when you're not, you're not. Just know you gotta chill out. But it is annoying though. And I think, again, that's another thing. Getting older, learning how to not let annoyance get to you of things changing so much, so quickly, so fast. Seems fast, feels fast, may not be fast. But yeah, I also, yeah, I don't like that. There's something about the slowness of publishing that kind of, I feel like it better assures it, or is a good defense against lies and scamming, although it can still happen. But with things being digital, it seems like not everything is in place right now to prevent all the scamming, any scamming, or a level of scamming that is like beyond what could happen in slow publishing. And it's pretty sad because, like, it's like I used to say when I was at the bank, I would tell people who got upset when I would ask for their driver's license when I was a teller. I would tell them, well, just think of it, if somebody who wasn't you came in here to take out their money. They said that they were you, and I just gave them the money. How would you feel about that? You'd be upset, and then you'd be saying, "You better give me my money back because that wasn't me." This is what this is about. This is why I asked for your license, even though I know it's you. In some cases, I did because I knew who it was. But this is why I have to ask for it, so the documentation is there that it was you. And when I would explain it to them, most people were reasonable enough to say, "Oh, okay, I get it." So it's not personal. It's not because I don't like you. It's not any of that. It's just, it's a guarantee it was you, not somebody that, like, who knows, it just was saying they were you. So this whole thing, and where did I get to that? Oh, the whole thing with like the scam book by the scam PhD and all that. Slow publishing would prevent that from happening, but there's numerous books out there like that. That I had that happen to me when I was trying to see, is there an autobiography on John D. Rockefeller? Because I'm curious about some things in his life and how he seemed to go against, in some ways, some of his very, kind of ruthless business ways. Also, at some point in his life, he seemed like he kind of regretted it and started trying to change that. And so I was looking for a biography on him, and I thought I had found one, and it was it turned out to be some crazy thing. It was some person actually from from another country whose original language is not English, and it's like they were writing, like, you know this biography like it was a, what were they writing it like it was, an autobiography or something like that. It was something weird like that, and I was like, what the heck? And it's for sale on Amazon, and it gave no indication that it was not um, someone with authority to, something who was really an author. The good faith setup that, yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just all the things that are automatically in play when you publish the slow way were not there. And so people could come on there and mistake this for that unless they, I don't know. At some point, really soon, you'd understand that that's not what it was. But it was that was really weird to experience it. And that happened to me like a few years ago. That kind of put my antenna up and said, okay, but that messes it up for people who are publishing in that manner in good faith, because it's the only way or the easiest way to get their information out quickly, who maybe like don't have the time to go through or don't know the process of submitting a manuscript for publication, don't have anybody to help them with that. It kind of puts a bad light on those people who have in good faith are trying to publish, are trying to get their information out. So it's just like with the license, it's the bad people who make it more difficult for the good people. Always happens like that. I hate that. But somehow we need people working on getting things in place that will, you know, to take care of the scamming, so that the technology we have now can actually work for us, not against us. And I don't know, that's what our, you know, Congress and government need to be working on, instead of all this other fool-la-la. That's what they need to be working on. But I kind of have faith, and I'm putting my, money where my mouth is, money where my faith is, that there are people working on this, even though the powers that be, it seems, are not paying attention. Oops, kind of went over that, didn't I? But it's gone, a lot of the digital thing has just gone so awry because of people being, like the government being slow to answer to some of these things. Now we have generations of kids who can't read, who don't know how to, I don't know, they don't even know like the internet or anything that well, except to look at things that come fast or go wherever they want to go every day, to TikTok or whatever. They don't really have that savvy because they're missing critical thinking. Can't run a society on that. Can't continue a society on that. I don't know why I just did what I did, but I did it. See, when I talk, I just color and I don't think, which is kind of good. Which is one reason why I came live. It's like I won't perseverate over how to finish this if I just come live and just start. I need to eat lunch. What am I going to eat for lunch? I kind of feel like, I do have lettuce, but not that kind of lettuce. I was thinking, I kind of feel like making loaded nachos, but I don't have any avocado, and I only have spring mix lettuce, not. Oh. Okay, Shar, you have a good rest of your day. Stay cool, stay dry. It's really cool here. I think it's like I don't even know how cool it is. Ooh, 98. Wow. Yeah, it's really cool here. Wow, it's 61 degrees. This is an interesting summer, although summer just started yesterday, but it says rain for at least 60 minutes. It's been raining a lot, off and on. It's almost like we skipped the thunderstorm part from the weather coming from, you know, um, like Michigan, Wisconsin, all that. We skipped the thunderstorm part and just got the cold front and the rain. So, well, let's look at the map. Okay, now I'm looking at the radar. See, once I get on there with the weather, ooh, chow. Oh, they're getting it up north. That's where the thunder went. It went north. Although it's south too. It just didn't hit us. It did not hit us. Well, it is. Yeah, it's south and north of us. Not here. That's the way the wind went. We just got all rain. Looks like we are going to have rain for a while. Hey, Mandy. Happy Monday. That's okay. I don't mind not having thunder and lightning. I don't mind, because I don't know. We had a tornado watch the other day. I'm like, oh, brother, where can I go where I don't have these? Like, I thought I was where I don't have these. And now this seems to be a thing lately. My husband said, yeah, they're saying something that they're thinking of, I don't know, I don't know. I think he said thinking of adding us to part of, I don't know, Tornado Alley, which I don't know. I got to see where he saw that because that sounds a little extreme, but I don't know. Okay, what else? What else? What else? What else? We got more. Here, there's a lady. A lady, I think it was a blonde here. I gave her gold in here. Ooh, that's a little much. Mistake. Oh well. We'll turn it somehow. I can make it red here. That might be easier to do. I will. And well, I guess she's got brown hair. It's a little different than the other one. A little bit. She got orange hair. I don't know why I want to do that, but I just do. I'm gonna give her. See, once I start coloring, I can't stop. Oh, I forgot. It doesn't like this sharpener. Shoot. Oh. I already have the flowers that color. What else? What else? Why do you? I suddenly feel like I don't know what color to make something, and like, really, it's my choice. I can color it whatever I want. I don't know. I'm doing this. I don't want to think too hard. I don't want to think too hard. Let's see, what else have I been doing? Playing my piano, practicing. It is where it is. I'm still just kind of, I don't know, because I've been doing other stuff, reading and stuff, so, I don't know, reading, cleaning, cooking. So, I kind of, I don't know, I've mostly been trying to focus on keeping using my whole arm to play, like realizing the bones and tendons and things in my entire arm are what's used in playing, and keeping my hands relaxed. That's mostly what I've been focusing on, and looking at the position of my hands when I play. So I've been doing a lot of analysis mostly when I play. So warm up things and analysis, and not a whole lot else. Because I'm really like anal retentive like that. I don't want to go further until I really am in a habit of examining that when I play things. I don't have to make the background. And I probably need. These don't even look like all the same flower, but I made them all the same color. Oh shoot, I just realized it was raining and I left the geranium that I had growing inside in the sunroom. I took it outside and the poor thing is like, I just threw it outside in the hot weather. And we've had like some heavy rain, and the hanging baskets it's in doesn't have drainage holes. I never poked drainage holes in it, and so like it keeps getting flooded over. So I actually gave it a hard trim. I have the pieces. I'm going to root the pieces, into another pot or the same pot. I don't know. But we keep getting these hard rains, and so it keeps getting flooded with water. And I just realized just now, oh, it happened again yesterday. We had a hard rain. And so I had moved it from the hook in front to the steps that come out of the sunroom outside. So it's still outside. and let it recover there because it'll get full sun, southern exposure, and it can kind of, get its get acclimated again and dry out a little bit. But it's not gonna dry out if it keeps raining like this. So I gotta check it. When I go downstairs, I gotta check it and see how the thing is doing. Oops. I'm gonna make this red. I got enough. But I don't even know how many years I've had that geranium. So I don't want to lose it. It just seems to be really happy. Smells really good. I could probably make oil from the leaves, but I just haven't done that yet. I don't want to lose it. I mean, I feel like a part of it's going to come up somewhere anyway, regardless. But okay, that helped a little bit. Darker green around here. Okay, what's she gonna wear? That was our London yellow. Did pencil fall and I missed it? Yes. No, did it fall? Is this it? No. Oh! I put on my shoe. I don't know why. There it is. That's gotta be it. Pencil's falling. This one. I can't remember what I sharpened this in. I really need to empty this. Oh, I made chicken in the air fryer. Twice I did it. I'm trying to get it, make fried chicken in the air fryer. I don't really like it. I mean, I don't like doing it that way. Like, it takes longer. But, I mean, I know it's supposed to be healthier, but I'm wondering, I don't know, because of how many times you guys spray oil on it to get crispy or whatever. If you use just flour, I used a mix of flour, panko breadcrumbs, and regular breadcrumbs and smooshed them together. But, like, yeah, you just gotta keep going back, and I don't know, it just seems like it takes so long. Whereas if you just do it fried, throw them all in the pan at once, and it's like, separate. I don't know. I wonder if anybody has ever really measured the oil content between doing it the two different ways, because I feel like if you're cooking the chicken and at the temperature you should be in the oil, I'm thinking it's not that much more oil than doing it in the air fryer to get it, crispy on the outside. So I think somebody's lying. There I go again. See, I don't believe nobody. I'm like such a I'm a skeptic. I am. I really am. I don't take nobody's word. Well, like I will. It's hard to say. If somebody tells me that I should do something, well, first of all, I take into account who's telling me. Okay. If it's my mom or dad, of course, I'm going to do it. But I always have in the back of my mind, like, okay, this is data. We are going to be looking at this to see if this is so. So we're going to do it, but I'm always going to be analyzing for, okay, how did this work out? And why did this work? And what's the other way? And what would have happened if that happened? if I did it the other way. No, I just do. I can't help it. I've been that way since I was a little kid. That reminds me of a question. I think I was in the clouds or something in Ivy Pearl's Thursday, whatever Thursday lives, and she'd asked that question, were you obedient as a child or something? And I was like, yeah, that's a hard one for me to answer. I was, but I was always inside myself analyzing things. But in some ways, I was too obedient, which is kind of weird, the juxtaposition of that. But I should have busted loose a few times, a little bit more, I think. Oh boy, there's a lot of things in this to color, and I don't think, is it 2 o'clock? It's almost 2 o'clock. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop at 2 because I need to eat and I need to prep. I need to prep my pumpkin. I'm gonna drain my pumpkin, and then okay, I looked at the can of puree. It's 29 ounces. It's one of the a big can, 29 ounces, which equals 822 grams, and I only need 168 grams to make the cookies. Now this says it makes 12 cookies, but that sounds like, I don't know. That doesn't sound right to me. How I don't know. How big are your cookies if it makes 12? I don't know. So I got to play around with this. I might be making more than one batch. I don't know if I want to double the batch my first try or not. I got to see how confident I feel with that. But then that's taking me to 3 cups of flour. I don't feel like mixing 3 cups of flour. That sounds like work. Even though I use my what do you call it? Lord willing, stay with me. Stay with me, my KitchenAid. Stay with me, KitchenAid, because I hear they're making them like crap now, so I don't want to have to get a new one. Anyway, but still, all that flour dusting around because I get kind of sloppy when I bake sometimes. Anyway, hey Taylor, happy Monday. I'm just getting ready to head out of here. Now, something I'm kind of thinking of doing when I get like all my colors in is maybe taking a water-based, marker and going over some of this somehow to, I don't know, do something. I don't know. But sometimes I think maybe I'm just looking at it too long and that's why I keep feeling weird about it or something, the page, but whatever. Okay, so that's it for me. This is that big Dover Publishing Teresa Goodrich gnome book, Gnomes at Home. Yeah, it's that big one, and it has nicer paper. So even though it costs more money, it has nicer paper than the regular Dover books. And this also has some of the PDFs that I got through from the sampler emails. So I have some of them in here. I'm riding this bike. Riding this bike through the forest. Looks like he might be whistling. So yeah. So I wanted to color something different. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm gonna go and make my lunch and eat my lunch. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching on the replay, and see you later. Bye bye.